Yes.
Like a
Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.
All righty, folks, you heard the intro. It's time for what, Claire?
Mr. Curiosity.
See, we need a new
wow.
What?
That was
Our guests are surprised.
Okay.
Our guests
We're
are...
working on a new song.
Yeah, we're
me
working on a
off.
new intro.
Wow, without auto-tune?
Yeah, we don't need it.
I made that on an app a long time ago. It's a long story. Anyway, we have two special guests, Jackie Lewandoski from Home and Backyard, and the behind-the-scenes Home and Backyarder. Now, your last name, Martina, I don't even know how to pronounce. Yencho? Why? We should be deeper. I've known you for like 10 years. I don't even know your last name.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, pick one. Which one do you think?
I'm going to go Yenko.
Ooh, wrong.
Yencho.
Yenko.
Yencho.
But like my whole life, everyone says Yenko.
That's like the worst last name ever.
Thank you. It's Polish.
I know. I'm
though.
just kidding because I guess I could have the last name Danko, and that's Polish too.
Danko.
That was
Danko,
my
Yenko.
grandmother's last name. And when you think about this, I'm surrounded by women. If I were you women, I'd be on the streets protesting, flags, banners, signs. What's with all this man stuff? Men have their name carried down and yours disappears.
No.
I'm
There's
just-
a hyphen, Joe. The hyphen. Yeah,
Well, Jackie did a hyphen.
Yeah, but the hyphen's going to go away with your kid. Your kid is going to lose your last name.
No, I ended up dropping the hyphen
See, that's what I mean.
because it was way too long. Jacqueline.
Yeah, that's what
Jacquelonis, Lewandoski.
That's the
It didn't fit on my
problem. And then,
driver's license.
yes.
It-
But do you see how
that doesn't
it's
bother me.
terrible? It doesn't bother you.
No.
No, I'll get rid of mine. That's fine. It's fine.
Second upgrade.
I was always at the end of the alphabet, which I'll miss. That's the only thing. Because when they say go in alphabetical order, I just go to
Yes,
the
you're
end.
why at
And
the
then all
end.
the M's and the N's would all be struggling. And I would just go to the end.
All right, there you
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. Anyway, so you two represent the Home and Backyard here at WNEP. There's others.
Yeah.
But here's my point. Let's spend 5, shall we? Maybe 10 minutes, Claire, on Home and Backyard.
We should.
And then we'll get right to the brown bag.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think more
not
people
even.
need to know
No,
about
it's
it.
if
fine,
you're
it's
looking
fine.
at us saying, I don't want to do it, then
it's
we won't
fine.
do it.
No. I want to tell the world.
I
about
want
Home
to. All right, I
Backyard.
want to say this about Home and Backyard, Jackie, because this, and don't be insulted.
Oh, no.
This is the greatest Houdini act you've ever pulled off in your career because we've talked. You are more like me. You are not a foodie.
No.
You like basic stuff. You can have noodles and butter and be
Yes.
happy.
Yes.
You don't like pretentious environments. You like everything basic, simple, and real. But yet you are an amazing, successful host of a program which deals with things that you're not. I don't know how you pull it off.
Well,
Do you agree?
partially. I mean, I don't like to cook. I'm a terrible cook. It's
But
not that I'm just an absolute terrible cook, but I do like to eat.
But wouldn't people be surprised that the Home and Backyard host doesn't like to cook?
Right. But I mean, she likes simple things, but she appreciates
Yes.
all the things
Yeah,
that we make.
do I like
she
the-
appreciates all the
Yeah.
seasonings.
Do
and
I
all.
like, filet mignon and all kinds of fabulous food? I mean, somebody's baking food for me.
You do like
how would
that.
well, of
Well,
course
she'll
I
eat
do.
it. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's our difference. I hate it.
You
Oh,
wouldn't-
no, I like
If
it.
somebody made it for you,
If
you'd go,
someone
"No,
said
thank
have the
you."
most expensive filet mignon, I'd
Right.
say, can I just have a pierogi?
Well, yeah.
Get me out of here.
I mean, in real life, yeah. But if somebody's making it for
Yeah,
us,
like
we're
that.
gonna
I
eat
wouldn't
it.
make that for myself, but
Yeah.
do I enjoy it? Of course I enjoy it.
What about like the way you hold your wine glass, Claire? She
I-
holds it like this, and it's the neck of it goes right down her hand, and she has fancy jewels on, and she's talking about the vineyards.
Like, well, I do know my wine.
Oh, you do
Yeah,
know
I've
your
taken
wine then?
classes.
Okay.
Yeah, I
She's
do know
an
my
expert.
wine.
She's taken wine classes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry,
She's
everyone.
bougie. That's the Gen
Thank
Z word
you.
for today.
No, I know the
Jackie's
bougie word.
bougie.
Well, then I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
wrong about you. Okay, I
Yeah.
take it all back.
That's
I
why we
didn't
have the
know that.
podcast.
Yeah.
Get out. You're bougie.
Not really, but
She's a
I
drama
could,
queen.
like I say, I could appreciate the finer things.
All right, well, let's go
If-
back in time then, before Martina. Who created Home and Backyard?
My Dave and I, my husband.
Oh, so you were at the inception. You created
Yeah.
this thing.
Yeah.
And what year is it?
It was probably 92, maybe.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. we had gotten married and we built a house, and that
Uh-huh.
was before like all the Home Depots and all that stuff was, so you really had to know what you were doing.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, wouldn't this be fun if we did a home and garden type show? And we also
Whoa.
like to garden. I'm a big gardener too, not vegetable flowers.
Yeah.
So, so we decided to do it, and we went to the GM and we said, hey, could we do this home show? And he said, yeah. He goes, but you have absolutely no budget. So because I was behind the scenes, I was the promotion manager.
Yeah.
And so we decided, well, let's give it a try. So when we first started, I did segments. We had producers doing segments. We had everybody did segments. Anybody that we could grab, like kind of with the podcast. Anybody you
Yeah,
Hey, could you do home and backyard?
So John Meyer couldn't make it today, and it was just me and Claire, and I just started walking around the building. Jackie,
The truth comes out.
Jackie, join us on the podcast.
Martina too.
And then Jackie
Well,
said,
she ran the
I'm gonna
editing room.
grab Martina too. I'm like, perfect. So yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, this is how good spontaneous stuff works.
Yeah, I created a long-lasting segment. on
And now you had your
WNEP.
own van, you had your own crew, your own photography, your own editors. Now you're big time.
Oh yeah.
Now she
Mhm.
walks around here. Do you see the attitude, Claire? She
No, I
walks
don't
around-
see any attitude.
Thank you, Claire.
Yeah.
I was just making that up. I thought you'd go on.
No. Can you try to be funny in a different way, Joe? Come on now.
And I have to say that Martina is amazing
Oh.
because I worked behind the scenes for many years, 17 years. And
Yeah.
a lot of times people that do all that the work, they do the work. And as you know, if you edit, you do it all. It's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
So
So,
you've been
like,
doing this
I-
for 25 years?
The full time, yeah. When I was
No, the home and backyard.
backyard, longer than that, but I went over completely. I went part time when my son.
I
was
remember
little.
that. Yeah.
So I'm
But
part
what?
time.
So has there ever been home and backyard without you?
Not really.
No, right?
No. I
You
didn't do
are
it as
home-
much. I did a segment here and there. Like
Yeah.
I said, we used to get whoever we could find
Yeah.
to do a segment.
No, we did a podcast here with. I'm having a senior moment.
Paul.
Paul Epson. Paul Epson, who I did the podcast with.
Uh-huh.
But Paul adds this flavor and character to the whole thing. When did he come along?
Oh, that's a
You have
great
good
story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since like I said, my husband Dave and I like gardening, and we had gone to see something that Paul was doing, and 'cause he's a garden center in the area, and so we went to see Paul, and we're like, "Ooh,
But just randomly,
wouldn't he-
you went
yeah,
to some garden
yeah,
center.
yeah. So wouldn't he be good for the show? And all the ladies love him because of his like British accent and everything. So we're like, oh, wouldn't he be great for the show? So we went to his garden center. We knocked on the door, and we're like,
But how'd you know to go there? Is what I'm saying.
because I knew that's where he was. I went to a garden, like he had all these.
Oh, so you just knew there's some guy with a British accent and he owns a garden center.
So we knocked on the door and asked if he would come out and talk to us. We're from WNEP. Well, he thought it was advertising, and he was in there. He knew that we were
And he
there,
was hiding.
and he was hiding. And somebody came out, and they're like, "He's not interested." And so I was like, so we left, and then I came back another time, and I said, "We're not selling advertising." So he came out, and we talked, and it ended up that he.
No, that's a great story.
So I always tell him. I always tell
Does
him.
he? So does he admit that he was hiding? Did he
Oh
say-
yeah,
At least he's honest.
yeah.
I won't lie. That happens a lot in the field. People, if they don't want to be on TV, they will hide.
They will hide.
They will pretend they're not home. It's
Oh,
like
I-
whenever someone drops off a package, you never answer the door.
Oh, I know. I used to hide when the Schwan man. Remember that?
Oh,
Do they
Yeah,
still?
I used to get
Oh.
this
You
one.
used
This
to-
one guy.
Do
yeah.
they still do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That big yellow truck. I used to hide.
Yeah.
Mhm. I don't blame you.
Well, anyway, so in the beginning it was you, your husband, and then when did Paul join?
I would
2000
say-
maybe?
because Tom Clark did a lot of the gardening segments.
Oh yeah.
Tom and Irene, remember? And maybe a couple of years, 3 years, maybe.
In.
Yeah.
So he's been with you guys that long too.
Oh yeah.
And he really added to it.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
what the
yeah.
people don't see, and that's why we have to get to Martina. So it's a couple on-air people, someone like Paul, you, but you need people to film this, to get all that footage and edit it and get the
Mhm.
right sequence and make it look snazzy and exciting for TV. And how many people do you have to do that?
Martina.
Just one
And
throughout
now-
the year.
No, there's
And Bill Schultz.
Bill Schultz. But
But Martina's the producer. She's the one that's in charge. She's in charge.
So do you boss them around, Martina?
the
Do you
boss.
like? I mean,
Yeah, I yell. No, Jackie uses the excuse like my producer said no, so she'll like make it sound like I'm this big.
when
know what
you need a good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Do you have to find the stories too? Like, do you go out and seek things or no?
No, Jackie gets a lot of them. She
Yeah.
goes to a lot of like craft fairs and things, or I'll see something on Instagram and I'll be like, oh, Jackie. So Jackie does like all the calling and sets it up. But if I find something,
So it's going strong. You got your own van now. You got your own wing of the
Yeah.
building.
And what do we call her? Or van?
Daisy.
Daisy
no
the
one
van?
wants to drive her.
Why?
because-
Daisy's getting old?
No, because apparently it's embarrassing. There's
Oh,
flowers
because-
on
No,
it.
it's so
white
cute.
The
Ooh.
WNEP,
It is.
Pennsylvania. I mean,
Yeah,
Home and
nobody
Backyard
wants to drive.
No, no.
is a big
drive it.
flowered vehicle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's a great conversation starter.
it is.
Yeah.
It looks like a florist delivery
I
truck.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
think
now
it's
you're
cute.
big time. Well, this is excellent.
Mhm.
And Martina, do you want to tell everyone that your father is
Oh yeah. I
and
forgot.
was still my mailman?
Yeah.
And he's the new mailman in the area. So I got to tell this
I
story.
forgot,
How
yeah.
long ago? 4 or 5 years?
Oh, maybe.
All right. So we had this mailman for years, for decades or something. And then all of a sudden he retired. And there, I heard there's this new guy. And I'm like, oh boy. Because you got to be friends with your mailman.
Yeah. You see them every day.
And I have a dog named Jet. So within the first week of this new guy,
Yeah. My
I
dad.
get
yeah.
I get a
Oh.
serious postal warning in the mail saying my dog is what?
He bit my dad.
Under
Your
under-
dog bit my dad.
he's under some type of federal offense for biting a mailman.
Jet has a criminal record.
And I'm
now
like-
that's breaking
Yeah.
news.
I'm like, Jet doesn't bite anyone. Who is this new jerk that's
Yeah.
picking on my dog? Because Jet is not a violent dog.
Yeah, it was. The
But he
beeping.
did nip on his leg, right?
Yeah, well, my dad, I was like out doing something. My dad's texting me. He's like, "Do you have Snedeker's number? Like, his dog bit me," and I was like, "I want nothing to do with it." So I was like, "No, I don't know." And then, yeah, apparently you said something on air or something about the mailman.
Yeah.
My dad was the mailman this
Yeah.
whole time.
And I said, I didn't even know that was her dad.
Yeah.
And I hated this guy at
I
first. 'Cause I'm
know.
like, how dare he accuse my dog
Wait, how
of
did you
something?
guys figure this out?
I don't know.
My dad, like, knew, obviously.
So
from the
then,
back
yeah,
end.
eventually it got
Yeah,
back to me.
he
And
was-
now are they buddies, I think. I think he now knows
well,
how.
remember that one time you said my dad like was delivering a package or something and Jet was barking and he whispers, "I gotta get out of here."
Yeah, he did say something under his breath, but I think they've worked it out now.
Yeah, sure.
I think
yeah.
I think Jet and your dad worked it out. So they're
Right.
friends now.
Yeah.
But you had to see this official postal
I
thing I got, like a
know.
federal offense that my dog bit a
Yeah,
mailman.
that's scary.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had to go to the vet to get an official rabies
Oh, no.
designation that he doesn't have rabies, and then give it to the postal service in like a secure envelope. And I had
Did
to be
you die?
guarded.
I would have died 1,000 deaths if my dog bit somebody.
He doesn't bite. If you don't
Yeah.
look Jet in the eye and you walk away from him,
That's
I
what he
know,
did.
but
he'll like casually nip at the bottom of
know,
your
but-
pants because he wants to say I'm in charge. But he
Oh.
doesn't bite.
No. Well, the beeping of the thing, he said.
Yeah,
and
so
and my
he-
dad walked away and
yeah.
So he's triggered by a sound.
he's triggered by
He's-
my dad.
No, he's triggered by things walking away from him without eye contact. Like if you just look at Jet and go, "I'll see you later," and make him feel like he's in charge, then he's not going to bite you.
Mm,
But if you just casually start walking
that's
away,
what- yeah.
he thinks there's flea, and his instinct is bite, 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 bite.
Who
Oh.
trained this dog? Did you?
My dog is not trained.
That's why. That's why this happened.
So, is there anything happening in Home and Backyard in the next few weeks we need to know about before we get to the brown bag?
Getting ready for Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas. This week, we're doing a Pennsylvania Dutch chicken pot pie. Which is like not a real pot pie, like how you think. It like has like noodle dumplingy type thing. It's more of like a soup or a gravy.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's good.
this
It was
could be
good.
a brown bag question. Do you like pot pie?
That's a weird question.
That's a weird question.
Why? I hate
Because
pot
it's
pie.
either yes or no.
Who doesn't like pot pie?
Me.
Me.
You don't like
Really?
pot pie?
Yeah, wait, really?
My wife makes this as like her special meal
love
once a month, and I'm
I
like,
like
oh, it's
everything.
pot
Oh,
pie
wow.
day. I hate it.
Really?
No, I won't eat it.
Is it soup? Is it?
Well, is it the pie one?
It's just the whole thing.
Does
It's,
it
it
have
doesn't.
a crust?
It doesn't even know what it
This
is.
doesn't have a crust. This is a soup.
This one has a crust,
Okay.
and there's carrots and goo inside. I'm like, I'm just
No.
gonna have noodles and butter.
Okay.
Well, this one though, I would be open to trying this if it's more
No,
like. a
it's-
Oh, I
soup.
know.
is.
I'm the idiot.
No,
This
it
sounds
is.
Like
excellent.
homemade
I admit
noodles,
I'm the
but it's
idiot.
very
Ah.
rustic. Like
Yeah, it was good.
Hearty.
Yeah.
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 Mm,
yeah.
good word.
Well, thanks for your wonderful program.
Well, Thank you.
What
for
we're going to do
having
now
us.
is Brown Bag Monday. So I want to give you the rules. We pick questions out of this bag. If anyone has a question they want to put in the bag, remember it's brownbag@WNEP.com. One word, brownbag@WNEP.com. And Jackie and Martina,
It's like a box, though.
they're
brown
weird
box.
questions sometimes. These viewers are on to us. They just,
Mhm.
you never know what it's going to be.
Okay.
So if you pick one and you're uncomfortable, you just go
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
and you
that's
hit the
good.
bell and it's all over.
It's all over.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we move on
Oh, that's
because
good.
we don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, do we, Claire?
Well, just
Yeah.
a little bit, because then it gets interesting, but not entirely.
So I think Jackie has to go first. Here we go.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Jackie in the brown bag. She is diving.
Oh wow.
Now, are you going deep, shallow? There's some strips in there. There's some thick.
Do you want me to?
Oh,
No,
please,
you
you
have to
read it.
read. You have to do
Oh,
everything.
okay.
here.
And we
We're-
don't do compliments.
We don't like. There's three things that are banned: compliments, French-derived words.
French derived words.
Yeah,
Oh, this is
and anything about birds. Uh-oh, Jackie's uncomfortable already.
Now, what album from your youth would you recommend to a 13-year-old today?
Oh my
Oh.
goodness. So what album from your youth would you recommend to a 13-year-old, someone who's just youthful now
Today?
getting into music?
Oh my gosh, I only like that albums that my brother, because I had an older brother.
But I guess the
Oh,
thing is
mine
though,
would be
because
maybe the Partridge Family.
yeah, but they'd laugh at you. Wouldn't they laugh at you?
That's the point.
I
I
think the
would
question.
want them to hate it.
Oh, you want them to hate
Yeah.
it?
Oh.
Hmm.
Because I thought the
Yeah.
question is assuming
Would you recommend? Yeah, I would
recommend meaning you got to hear this because you're too young to know, but I know you're gonna
Jackie's
love
a
this.
prankster. We could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I would recommend. I'm standing by the Partridge
Okay.
Family.
Martina, what do you think?
About the partridge.
Yeah,
Family?
we
No, about what album?
She doesn't know
Oh.
what the Partridge
I
Family
Here's
is.
well, my response to that would be that 13-year-old
Yeah.
would laugh and say, "This is dumb music from a long time ago." That's all I'm saying.
And that's the point.
You're never
Is it?
cool to a 13-year-old, and you should know that.
No,
by
but I
now.
think if you introduced some AC/DC
But I
or
don't like
or a
AC/DC.
Beatles song to a 13-year-old, they'll say, "Whoa, I see what I missed here. This is great."
Hmm.
But the Partridge Family. I mean, that's
Well,
yours.
That
I
was
mean,
like
I
I
miss
was
the
like a
Partridge
child,
Family.
a baby. I was like a
Yeah.
baby.
If she recommended that to me, I want to listen right now.
Thank you, Martina.
Yeah, you're welcome. See,
All right. I mean, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's my opinion. I thought the question is saying, enlighten this person.
she is.
It's almost like if your answer,
Thank you. I
what
am
what book
enlightened.
would you recommend to a 13? You wouldn't be 13-year-old. You wouldn't be like
you can't think of a book.
Well, he doesn't know how to read. That's why.
Oh, makes sense. Makes sense.
No,
He
but
said that today.
you'd start out with like War of the Worlds, H.G. Wells, something classic, and you'd be like, you got to see
I
this.
like,
You wouldn't start
I
out with
like
Here Comes Peter
innocence.
Cottontail.
I like old-fashioned innocence.
Hmm.
Is that
So you're gonna
okay?
say here's some old-fashioned innocence Partridge
Yeah.
Family,
Yeah.
and you don't have one, Martina.
No, I didn't say that.
No, okay, let's. hear it.
No, I would say like a Green Day album.
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
Yes,
I
yes,
like
because
that.
they're my favorite band. I grew up loving them.
Yeah, and
so-
I think that could
Green
be
Day album.
appreciated by a
Yeah,
totally.
13-year-old.
Yeah,
They'd be like,
it's
"Whoa, I never
tasty.
heard of this."
yeah,
They would like that.
That's a
yeah,
good
they
one.
would.
I'm gonna go with Revolution by the Beatles. The way it starts out, it
Mm.
rips. Talking about a any 13-year-old's gonna like that.
I don't
Hmm.
think so.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they think that's old.
Yeah, but it's old, but it's timeless.
Not really.
They just like, well, as someone who writes music on the side for like young people, they kind of like something that's catchy, upbeat, something that's kind of sarcastic and funny, and I don't know, something that like they can like relate to.
Well, what are you gonna give a 13-year-old from your youth?
Oh, the Cheetah Girls soundtrack. Duh.
That's cheesy.
No, Cheetah Girls 2.
Give
Cheetah
me the
Girls 2.
song. I don't even know what it is. Give it to me.
Oh my gosh, I can't because of copyright. But
Just the title or something? I don't know.
yeah, I mean, there's like literally you can have the Cheetah Girls song. They have so many in like the second movie, like they have a lot of Spanish influences because they're literally in Spain. They have all these crazy dance flash mobs. It's all upbeat music in your face.
Talk about timeless and not dated or doesn't wear good on the shelf. Revolution is going to last forever. No one even knows the Cheetah Girl. So that proves my point that thing
Well,
it came
it's
and went.
Disney, so like chances are a 13-year-old will be into that.
Green Day might survive.
I
and
think
Partridge
Green Day is
Family
great.
maybe will
Well,
survive.
yeah.
But I think in 100 years, they're still going to know the Beatles.
But that wasn't the
and no one's
question.
going to know.
Thank you, Claire.
That was not the question.
You're recommending, meaning
I
you
am-
got to
it
hear
doesn't-
this.
Did it say recommend? Yeah, it does say
Yeah,
Recommend.
you're recommending
But
someone.
it doesn't
Yeah.
say good or bad.
You're just there for your own pleasurable
Yeah.
enjoyment that you're sharing something that you have a funny memory
Yes.
with, and you want to share that.
Right.
Yeah,
See?
yeah, like
Yeah.
it brings me a nice feeling.
Yes,
I want to share it.
Jeez.
I'm the idiot. All
Nostalgia.
right, Martina,
Yeah, you
you're up
are.
next.
Oh, jeez.
There you go.
Oh,
just
jeez.
No, Martina, you going to go deep or are you going to go shallow? Boy, you're really making a project out of this like it's Christmas morning. She's
Well, I
taking
wanted
it.
to see like how far it was.
Yeah, it's pretty deep.
I might go deep. I'm going deep. Ooh.
No, there's some little
Is that
thin
a
one.
loofah?
Yes.
Why is there? Is that a question?
No,
Oh,
the
no.
loofah ball, if the whatever it's called. Jackie, you're gonna like this. Martina, when
Yeah,
my wife isn't around, she has those loofahs all over the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm the cleaner in the house. I
Oh,
clean the shower
too.
and
No.
but I know, but I clean the shower and everything with the loofah, and then don't tell her.
Oh,
Exactly what you should have given it this
Is
one.
that real?
Yes, and we
So
learned that.
someone then
That's
provided us with a new
disgusting.
loofah for my wife,
Yep.
so they felt bad for
So
her.
you just put it in here.
She doesn't listen to this podcast, so she still
That's
doesn't know.
gross.
Why?
So
Why
gross.
would you do that?
Because
Bacteria.
yeah, but this
There's
is so
like
great for
mold on
scrubbing
it.
stuff off of
Just
the.
get a new
They
cleaning
have a
loofah,
cleaning
Joe.
loofah and a using
Yes,
loofah.
yes.
No,
Yeah.
I rinse it off when I'm done, and she doesn't know.
I'm telling her.
Please.
Do you still do that?
Yes.
What if she got an
Why?
infection?
She's not going to get an infection
A
from
raging-
soap
A
scum.
raging infection.
The only
Yeah,
thing-
How
she's
often do you
scrubbing
clean the
bleach.
shower? Like, do you let mold?
Yeah,
form?
no, I'd say once a
Yeah?
week. I scrub soap scum with that, and then I
But
leave
then
it
you're
there.
rubbing soap scum on your body.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Martina.
So then how do you get the soap scum off of you?
I don't use loofah, so I don't know.
So it's not your problem.
I don't think it's a problem.
You
What
see
she
what he's
doesn't
doing to
know.
Dawn?
How about you use the soap scum loofah?
It wouldn't bother me. So you guys, no one's in with me on this.
No.
Maybe this was a question from the.
Oh no! So go. Do you, well, it could be a question.
No,
do you
no, no,
do you
no, no.
use loofah?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, I don't even understand
Loofah.
those
Is
things.
that plural?
Loofahs.
Loofahs? Is
I
it
don't know.
loofahs? Loofuses?
It's just a
Loofah.
loofahs.
Loofahsi. Anyway.
I don't. Question.
Is there other surprises in here?
No, that's it.
No.
It's only soap scum. No,
No,
one's
you're
gonna-
literally scrubbing your shower with bleach with this thing, and then
Yeah.
poor Dawn is
That's
gonna put
disgusting.
bleach.
I rinse it off when I'm done.
That's gross.
It builds up.
Joe,
You're gross.
it's gross.
You guys are gross.
It has to stop right now. Here and now.
That's shocking.
Just has to stop.
Just take it home.
That's shocking.
So from Ed, he's saying, Joe, you need to declare Saturday as Husband's Day. Projects are canceled, and don't nag him to death.
Don't. What do you guys think about that topic? Since there's 3 women here,
Wait,
should there be a
everyone?
husband's day?
Wait, should what?
So Saturday, according to Ed, should be called
Husband's
Oh,
Day.
okay.
where projects are canceled and the wife doesn't nag
Oh.
the husband to
What do
death.
you guys think about this nag thing? And is it? I don't know. Let's talk about it.
Every Saturday though?
No, I'm not talking about that idea, but
Oh.
there's no perception as men as being naggers, but yet women wives have the perception as being. Is that realistic, or is that
Because we vocalize what we want versus y'all
Yeah.
don't open up your
True.
mouth about
Yeah.
what you
She's
want.
Is that what it
right.
is then?
That's
Yeah,
it.
it's true.
What do you mean?
That's
We
it.
bury
That's
everything
exactly
inside?
it.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
don't say anything.
We don't say anything.
No, like
No.
you don't tell your wife that you use soap scum loofahs.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you don't tell her that. So
Like you guys hide stuff, right? Or
Yeah.
like you feel like it's an inconvenience to tell us what you actually want, and then we got to play this whole guessing game, and then you get mad at us for playing the same game, and then you get mad at us also whenever we express our feelings, and you're like, oh, you're a little too emotional,
Right.
or yeah, it's just
She's
We're
right.
just so different.
Mhm.
We're just so different.
very different.
Yeah.
And not that one's better than the other.
Right.
Or we're just completely different people.
2 of us are
Different-
married here. 2 of us are not.
We're just different.
So you have
so if like we're more emotional, we like to talk things out to I know I do like
Mhm.
to
this.
death.
No, this is my
Like-
wife too. She
Sometimes
talks
I
and
won't let
talks.
it go, which is probably
This is my
different
wife
personality.
too.
Yeah, like we just like to talk it out till like it's done and then move on.
mhm.
yeah.
And sometimes
w-
we don't move on though.
No,
we do.
no.
You don't.
But
it's
but that's okay.
But we're taught by society and maybe our fathers and grandfathers to bury everything inside until it kills us, and
That's-
don't
see,
express
That's
yourself.
not
That's
good.
so
Because if you
unhealthy.
express yourself, it's a weakness, and then you're opening yourself up to vulnerability.
But do you really feel like that, or do you just like don't care?
I feel like I never want to tell anyone my problems because I don't want to burden them. And I told my wife that, and she's like, "You mean you're burdened by my problems then?" And I'm like, "Oh no, this backfired." Like if I came home and I had a sore leg and I was tired, I wouldn't tell her anything because I don't want to put my problems on her. But yet then she says, well, I tell you everything. So now and I'm like, how do I get out of this now?
Just say no. Your problems are fine.
Your
tell me
problems
them
are
all.
fine.
You have
But
to-
I think
yeah,
that's
words
where
of
we're coming from. We
affirmation.
don't want to burden anybody.
Well, the thing is if you're in a good relationship, then like you will feel comfortable with being vulnerable with your person.
I know, probably, but
Well, you don't know what that's like. You're married.
someone once explained this to me. Here's the difference, because my wife tells me that I like the dog Jet more than her.
Mm.
And
I can see that.
I see
what do you
that.
mean you can see
I
that?
can see
I'm
that.
a loving husband and father.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can't be vulnerable to a dog because a dog will never leave you for another owner. So you can open up, you can be very gooey and mushy with the dog because you're never going to be vulnerable. But with my wife, she can always leave me for another man. So I always have to be guarded and not let too much come out. Does that make sense? A dog will never leave you for another owner, but a partner.
I think you just like the dog better because it doesn't talk back
Yeah.
at you.
Like, do you tell the dog your problems?
Be like,
No,
yeah.
and he doesn't tell
He doesn't
me
tell
any of
you.
his
You
either.
like
Really?
the dog
He
because
doesn't
he's
talk.
your companion,
Yeah.
and he's just like all about you.
No, whatever I'm into, he's into.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he's all
sidekick.
about you.
And he never
Yeah.
shares anything with me.
Yeah,
Oh.
he just like you just like something.
He never
you
shares
just-
his problems.
You're right. You're right.
He never burdened me with anything.
You just like that life next to you. Like everyone, like I mean, you have a
Yeah.
pet, you love them, and you do like to be next to them.
I go on bike rides with my dog. I'll see him limping, but he never
Aw.
tells me my leg is sore. Like he just,
Wow.
But do you like care?
yes, I care for it. And then I'll shorten the ride and I'll take him home and I'll
Okay,
rub his
well.
leg.
Well, do you
And then my
think-
wife says, you never rub my
Do
leg.
you, exactly. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot from this one question.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
in conclusion, because I always go to joke.
In
for
conclusion, there
relationship
should not be
advice.
Husband's Day.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
But at the same, there shouldn't be wives. Day.
No.
So-
When is there a wives' day?
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
we can bring up Mother's Day, which to me
But you
is
have a
like
Father's Day.
Sean just made it.
Sean Webmaster.
Why is he laughing?
Sean's like, there should
Every
be
day
Husband's
is
Day.
Mother's Day. All right, on Mother's Day, every day is Wives' Day.
I like that mentality.
As
Yeah,
you should.
see?
Thank you. Coming from a married man. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
There's a
Every
comedian
day
who
should
uses
be
this
Wives'
joke.
Day.
This is perfect. He's like, everybody talks about man caves and like, oh, they have their own little area in the basement where they get to do what they want to do and put up what they want to do. And he says, why isn't there a woman's cave?
She should.
And he stops and he goes, yeah, we have a name for it. The rest of the house.
Right.
And that's
Yeah,
a good
that's
point.
funny.
That's why
Yeah.
that's why we need this one little area, because you guys control everything else.
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
cushions,
Yeah.
all the bedding, all the
Yeah.
couches, where everything goes, we have no say.
Well, do you want to say
Yeah.
it?
Do you like when you come home and how your house looks nice, or is it nice? Is
I'm
it
just saying, if
clean?
we went
Is
to
it-
pick out new furniture,
Ugh.
I would have a suggestion. My wife would laugh at me and she'd get what she wants.
She's so smart.
Yeah. I mean,
So
she's
that
got a
why is
point.
life set up like that? I don't know. Why can't I pick out?
Well, you
the
can
couch?
pick out the couch if you have good taste.
Yeah.
The one with the USBs.
Maybe you have
and
poor
the-
taste.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, that's you again bossing us around.
No, it's a fact. If you have poor taste, you have poor taste.
Taste is a matter of
It is subjective.
subjectivity. Yeah.
Well, that's what your man cave is for. You could pick the USB.
That's it. So we get this one 12 by
Yeah, that's
12
it.
corner in this basement.
Make
Mhm.
it worth your while.
I'm
That-
glad Don doesn't listen to this because after hearing this podcast, you really would be in the doghouse with Jet.
No, there's no. I'm married 31 years. She loves me.
Good. Anyway, on that
Your
note,
turn, question. No, it's
Your
your turn,
turn.
Claire.
No, I
right?
already went.
Oh,
All
she- yeah.
Oh, that's right. You did. I'm gonna go from one of these little things. Whoa!
Oh, that's
Whoa.
tiny.
Wow.
These strips are old. What's the worst time during your morning shift?
Oh.
Worst
What is
time?
the worst time during your morning shift? Well, I think you guys aren't morning shift though.
No.
Well, we're like 9 to 5 now.
9
Yeah.
to 5.
Oh,
I think
must
for
be
me,
nice.
does it count waking up? That's the only bad part of the day. Once I get up and in the car and drive to work, then it's all great.
Yeah.
But when
That
that
would be
alarm,
for me
Yeah,
too.
same.
Like, you know,
I
getting
can't
up
wake
at like,
up. Yeah.
yeah, the waking up.
9, 7. You know.
Yeah.
Waking up is bad, but you know what's even worse? Whenever it's the summertime and you're trying to fall asleep at 7 p.m.
It's like a
Mm,
cruel
yeah, that
joke
would
of the
be-
universe. why can't you want to go to sleep and easily like just pass out and then want to wake up?
Yeah.
Why is it reversed?
I
Mhm.
wish. I
Yeah.
wish.
It's the
Yeah.
sad part
It's
because
so hard.
everyone's laying in bed like, I wish I would just go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to pretend to
Yeah.
be sleeping
Yeah.
to get to sleep.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
But no one ever wakes up and goes, oh, this is great. I want to wake up more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
And
such-
also, why is it so much harder to fall asleep whenever you're initially trying to do it versus when the alarm goes off for us at 2 a.m.
Yes.
and then it's so easy for us to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
yeah.
The bed's more comfy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
The
I don't know
conditions are right.
why. Yeah, it's rough.
So waking up is the hardest part of the morning shift. Other than that, it's great.
Hmm.
All right. So I think, Jackie, we're back
Oh,
to you.
we're
We'll
going
just do
around
one or
again.
two more and then we'll
Okay.
maybe end this. I hope it's a home and backyard.
I
thing.
hope it. I doubt it.
Yeah.
I wish.
Jackie
Oh,
got
wow,
that.
that's a long one.
Oh, this is like, do fish experience the same terror and fear like other creatures when being captured or killed for our dinner? They kind of just stare at you blankly and flop around a bit when suffocating outside of the water. But if they can't express how scared they are, maybe they're shaking in their boots.
So, wow.
That's a good one.
Wow. Wow.
I
No,
don't.
don't hit the.
You're gonna hit the
I
bell.
think this is a great one.
Jackie.
I happen to have read an article on this from a biologist, and I
Wow.
think this is still under
Well, you
study.
go first then.
So you know the actual answer.
No, well, here, what if? All right, so Martina,
Mhm.
what if I pulled you over in the corner
Okay.
and I had an axe and I started waving it at you?
Okay.
A human reaction, or in most mammals, they'd scream, they'd fight, they'd claw,
Mhm.
they'd make emotions with their eyes, they'd kick.
Yeah.
A fish can't do anything. It just lays there because that's all it could do.
Right.
It can't make noise. It can't,
No.
it can't claw you back. It can't run away. So I think we project onto them that they don't mind all this pain and torture. When you catch a fish and you put it down,
It flops.
it flops. That's all it
That's
can
all
I
do.
know. It tries
So
to
there's
get
a-
away.
So there's a biologist, I said, he did a study. Now, of course, there's so many species of fish. I don't know which one he was doing, but they said this one had just as much emotion as many higher creatures and mammals. And it's horrible what we do to them.
Oh.
It's just that they
Yeah,
can't
well,
express
like
themselves.
a dolphin. They're very intelligent.
Well, they're mammals, though.
Oh, yeah.
So I think this is a valid question. And I think,
Mm.
How about like a lobster when you're boiling it alive
Yeah.
and it's trying to get out of the pond?
but I think the argument there is arthropods, which lobster, they're basically big insects. They don't have much of a,
The brain.
So they don't.
a neurological
Brain.
system.
So they don't know what's going
So
on.
yeah, they don't
That's
But don't
perceive.
they
that makes me feel
scream
better.
when they go in the pot?
Yeah.
Is that a myth?
Or is that
Claire,
just-
could you look that up? Do lobsters scream in the
Scream.
pot?
That's what Mary Tyler Moore, I read an article. She was like a big animal rights fan. She like said that they scream when they're like being boiled.
Yeah, that's what I
Ah,
heard.
There might be some response, but they're definitely low on the
Ooh.
neural side.
Uh.
But again, fish are very intelligent and they probably do express a lot of fear, anxiety, and we don't know
Are they
because we
very
just see them
intelligent?
as this thing laying there, and it's
Yeah.
terrible.
This is a myth. Lobsters do not have a voice box or lungs, so they cannot scream. It's more likely that this sound is steam escaping from their shell, but not screaming does not indicate that they are not suffering.
There you go. So not screaming does
that's
not indicate
okay.
they're not suffering, but then scream is steam probably
That's
coming
probably
from
like
them.
a slow death.
Yeah.
If
I think all fish have anxiety. Look at
Yeah.
them. They never sit still. They're always
Yeah.
fidgeting. They're reactive towards any type of
Right.
change, any
They're
type of
always
system.
like their eyes are always open.
Yeah,
don't
because they
think
could
have
die any
eyelids.
Yeah.
second. I think they
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
have anxiety.
But like also if you're fishing and you get it and you throw it back, they'll come right back. Like they're kind of dumb in that fact. They'll just keep going on the line.
Well, it's like a man keeps coming back for the same woman, so it's similar. We keep falling for the same thing. That doesn't make
Yeah,
us
but I
dumb,
don't-
does it?
Whoa.
Your same
Aw,
tricks.
Just weak.
Weak-minded. Easily enticed.
We keep falling for your same tricks and we keep coming back.
Yeah, but you're not like on the brink of death like the fish is. But I guess it doesn't know.
I think 100, 200, I don't know how long into the future, people are going to look back on our time
Mm.
that we were all barbarians who would raise and kill things and eat them. And they're going to see us as horrible, barbaric people.
But then what are
'Cause
they
in the-
going to eat?
Well, to say in the future, we'll be growing meat genetically on scaffolds. Nothing will have to die. I'm telling you, this is the way things are going. You don't have to raise a chicken to eat its breast meat.
But
You
then
can
we're
just genetically create its breast meat and never have a chicken. And
Joe,
that's the
do
future.
you want more chickens in the world than people? Is that what you're trying to do? You know how fast they populate?
I'm just saying we raise chickens and then if any of you, and me too, went to a slaughterhouse,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know.
it would
I
be the
couldn't.
most
I'd cry.
grotesque.
La, 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 la.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yet we put it out of mind. So we think
Don't
it's
want
okay.
Because then I think about like a cheeseburger.
Mm.
And
me too.
everything goes out.
Would
the
you
door.
ever run into a field and slit the
No.
throat of a cow?
Never.
No.
Mm.
Those big, beautiful brown eyes looking at you.
Oh, don't do this.
So
Or
if-
like a little lamb for veal.
No, I'm telling you, it's
Or
horror.
pigs are super smart. They're like
Pigs are
dogs.
smart as dogs.
I know.
And if you guys heard that Joe Snedeker in his house killed 3 dogs and ate them, they'd put me in jail.
Right.
Mm.
But yet we do this to pigs tens of thousands per day. They're just as smart as dogs, but because they're uglier, it's okay.
They're not
Not
ugly.
necessarily.
I love pigs.
Well, then why do you allow that to happen and not dogs?
It's
That's
just
what I'm saying.
society.
It's society. We're
It is.
inconsistent. We're cruel. This is all going to end.
So would
down the
you
future.
Would you eat fake meat then? Do you eat fake meat now?
I tried it. My daughter's a vegan and she tried to get me on these fake things. And I
Yeah.
tried, but I go back to burgers. and-
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
you just say that they die of natural causes, and then you have.
But they don't.
Maybe.
Well,
and I
maybe they
try
do.
I try to not eat mammals anymore, just birds, turkey, and chicken,
Why?
because they're less on the nervous system scale of
Okay.
intelligence. I mean, how
So
much
does
is
that mean they have lesser of a value just because they have lesser intelligence? Does that mean they're valued less?
I think they have less
Maybe
pain
not.
and less feelings and
What about
stress.
fish?
You don't know that.
Well,
though.
fish, we don't. That's how the whole question
Well,
started. I
we
don't know.
don't
eat
know
fish?
that for sure.
It's hard. Well, they're brilliant people working on this.
I eat fish.
What
I
about
eat
when you
fish,
when you
yeah.
when you Jackie? What about when you spray wasp killer on a hornet's nest?
I try not to do that.
Does that bother you?
I don't-
They're very simple. They don't know what's happening.
Yeah, but they pollinate.
I know they do, but I'm just
Then we
saying.
wouldn't have
If
fruit
you
and
kill
everything.
wasps and bees or ants, you have to admit there's
I do
le-
kill spiders.
I was
There's
gonna
less-
say Jackie doesn't kill bugs, but she will kill a spider.
Okay, but you have to admit there's less pain and agony for that creature than there is a cow or a pig.
Well, right, because
It's
it's,
a whole
fast.
different-
You just
No, because it's different intellectual scale.
maybe.
Well,
I'm
you're
just kidding.
saying a termite is as smart as a
It
dog?
could be.
Look, if I'm hungry, and that's what I'm going down to. So if I got this fish, it's going to be killed, tearing
Yeah.
its eyes. Well, rest in peace.
Yeah, like I couldn't order a fish and it's like the full fish on the plate.
No.
Then I'm super grossed out.
Yeah, what if you like? Yeah, that's a good point. Like, what if there are people that don't have access to food, and you're gonna, that's all they have is fish? Or there are some countries that there are
Oh my-
people's that's their diet, or like
I get it.
people that eat them
I'm not
the
saying
brains of like goats and stuff.
That's
like
really
that.
the Philippines, like legit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what their diet. That
I'm
you're
not
just
saying
used to what
any
you're
of these
used to.
things are wrong. I'm just saying life is cruel. If
Life
we
is
were all
cruel.
Native Americans 600 years ago, we'd be out there hunting and I'd come back with the big deer and you'd be thrilled. And that seems more natural and normal.
Mhm.
Not instead of lines of chickens in cages getting
It does
bonked
seem-
on
that
the
does
head.
seem-
Yeah.
seem more natural.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
don't know what the answer is.
Well, I'm going to enjoy eating a burger after work, and I'm going to think of you, Joe.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
And maybe
Whose,
some fish too.
whose turn is the last
It's
question? here?
Martina.
Oh man.
Martina,
All right, let me-
we're going to
Grand
end
finale.
this. The last question of the day.
That's a good one.
It better be. Again, she owns the thing. She takes it.
Yeah.
I'm
She
gonna,
looks
but
inside.
She's
I
tiny.
want to like.
She can't reach inside.
Oh, this
She's
better be
tiny.
epic now,
I
right? The way
hope
she,
so.
It's going to be a great finale.
it's going to be a great
hope
finale.
so.
Yeah, a grand finale, some would
hope.
say.
Uh-oh.
I'm nervous.
It's a big, fat, juicy
Oh,
question.
man.
Is she going to hit the bell? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, she's smiling. That's a good sign.
No.
Are you going to hit the bell?
No. We were just talking about this. I think.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
I think I didn't really. Why don't women insist on naming their female offspring after themselves like men do with their boys? It seems like a feminist fumble or lost opportunity. Come on, ladies, says Bill F. from Waymart.
Wow. So another societal thing. What's your husband's name?
David.
Your son is not David.
No.
But many dads, they name their kid after their grandfather. Some there's Joe Jr., Fred, Sam. It goes on and on. It seems like no women in the history of mankind ever named the daughters after the wife, is what this guy's saying. Why is that?
Maybe they named them after the grandmothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, my middle name's after my grandmother.
Yeah.
But you have to admit, it's on a whole different scale.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So is this a feminist fumble?
Maybe. I mean, my name is my two grandmothers' names put together, which is kind of cool.
Aw,
Martha and
nice.
Regina, Martina.
All
I
right.
like that.
Yeah.
So you
right?
see this question isn't valid at all? No.
I don't know.
I think it's
I
making
wouldn't-
them.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to name Martina like my child.
You have a daughter in 3 years.
Yeah,
It's
I want
a
her to
beautiful-
be her own self.
Mm.
well, then why is there
I don't
Tom
know,
Jr. and
because
little
guys are
Tom?
just into themselves and want to name them the same.
Is this
I
an-
like this.
So is this
They-
another ego trip on a
It
man?
Yes.
because they're like, oh, I need like my dad. He's Bob Jr.
See?
So it's like, why? I mean, my brother's middle name is Robert, but I don't know.
See? So
I don't know why
Jackie,
it
do you
has to be
agree?
the
Is it a
third
man
before.
ego thing? We name our offspring after ourselves, but women don't do that.
No, I don't know if it's an ego thing. I think maybe it's just like because it, if you look back through history, you know, because the man's name, it's like the family name because and it keeps going on.
Yeah, and that's how the
on.
whole
So-
podcast started today. But you
Yeah.
guys should have a problem with that too.
Well,
I don't know,
it's more for the guy because of the last name, and that's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, but
because
now
then
the
you,
first name too, we're getting both, and you get 0.
yeah, but it's just a whole
Yeah.
like Martina 1, Martina 2. I don't know.
Like George Foreman, he named all of his sons George.
Oh yeah,
That's
That's the ultimate ego
Yeah,
thing,
he's
right?
got 5 sons. Maybe he wants his legacy or something. I don't know.
Well, somebody who works here, her brother's name is Nicholas, and her sister's name is Nicole, and then her name's Mariah. I don't know where.
And her, so the male in the family is Nick or something.
Nick, yeah.
There it is
so-
again. You know what? I'll say this as a man. We're egotistical pigs
Mhm.
Well, you said it.
Yeah, you are.
No.
that bury their feelings inside, don't share,
Mhm.
and think the whole world revolves around them.
Mhm.
And clean soap scum with loofahs.
And cleans soap scum behind their wives' back
Ugh.
with the loofah bar.
I'm
or
going to
whatever
push
that-
back on that. I don't believe that about all men. I don't. I just don't.
It's true.
I
She's
don't
right.
believe that about all men.
There's some good ones out
Yeah,
there.
there are. Like, I don't believe that you could blanket everybody. You could
No.
blanket all women. Because, like, are there some
Yeah.
women who are like
Yeah.
jerks?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Are there
I-
men that are jerks? Absolutely. Are there women that have massive egos? Yes. Are there men that have massive egos? Yes.
Mhm.
Well,
Like,
I
I
think
wouldn't
there's
blanket that.
I think there's 2 good men in this room right now.
There are.
I
Mhm.
agree.
There are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
But
That's
the whole
you, Sean.
the whole name
Sean
thing though
and
is,
Joe,
is
2
all
good
tradition.
men.
I
Did you name
agree.
your sons any of them, Joe?
Nope. Oh yeah, my son.
What? Joe?
Joey, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
Here's the thing.
The funny part is, I
Tradition.
told my wife I didn't want that. She's the one that I know. But he's no. Here's the reason I said that. I don't know how she worked this out, but he's not Joseph Jr.
Oh.
He's Joey. So he's never is he a junior.
He is Joey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my other son is Luke.
So he doesn't have junior. at
There's
the
no
end at all.
junior
No.
because I didn't like that. I remember at the time I'm
Really?
like,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
want
like
to
that
do
either.
this.
But still, you
Yeah.
kind of did a twist on it, kind of like Martina's situation, where you're passing on a tradition, a family tradition, but in your own twist. And that's what we're
Mhm.
doing. That's why this whole woman comment, you know what? We can do it, but just not in the traditional way.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
That's-
it's
we're
not
just-
like we can't do it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good point. But we don't want to do
Yeah.
it.
And
Yeah.
We always do like grandmothers, like middle names.
I think
it's
things
cute.
Like
Yeah,
that.
it could
Like,
be honoring. You're honoring
Yeah.
your grandmother. You're
Mhm.
maybe you were honoring your father, or you
Mhm.
wanted your wife want
Excellent.
to honor your father.
Well, it was great spending time with all these double X chromosomes.
Woo, thank you.
All right. So get your questions for the next one to brownbag@WNEP.com. We appreciate you listening. And maybe you guys will join us every week or every other
Wait,
week. Who
this
cares?
wasn't that bad.
I
was
told you
really
you're gonna
scared.
like it.
I was
She's scared.
Except for the Partridge Family recommendation. I thought you were excellent. Goodbye.
Curiosity. What are you so curious about? Everything, Mr. Curiosity.